basically just gonna clown this, bro.
Alright, we're gonna clown. Alright.
So I'm Jose.
I'm Darius.
I'm Drago.
I'm Anthony Newton.
And our topic is the Cold War.
And how the U.S. was
Became a superpower.
And how did they become a superpower?
They became a superpower, and after World War ended, after World War II ended.
World War II, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Well, yeah, that's
Obviously.
After World War II ended, we seen the emergence of two nations that were super powerful, being the U.S. and Soviet Union. That usually wouldn't be a problem. There's obviously going to be more than one powerful nation, but the problem was that the U.S. fought behind capitalistic ideologies and the Soviet Union fought behind communistic ideologies.
And they never saw each other's ways, basically. And they're just arguing back and forth.
Yeah, the whole idea of the Cold War was it was basically like
War against
our way of,
politicians.
not really. It was like my way of thinking is better than your way of thinking. It wasn't an actual war as in a sense of killing.
it was like a petty fight, you know.
Yeah, it was a petty fight, and that's what basically the space race was. Space race was a very popular. When you think of the Cold War, you think of the space race, but the space race was really just a race to like,
space.
huh?
So it was
No, it was a race to space. Yeah, because the Soviet Union was the first person to put a man in orbit, but the U.S. was the first nation to put a man in on the moon. So it was basically just we're cooler than you, we're smarter than you, our way of thinking is better.
It was basically
it
just
was
just
super
superpower.
petty.
Yeah,
It was
to see which was
yeah.
better.
And so the space race was important, but it was just all petty. The most important part of the Cold War was easily the atomic bombs or the nuclear weapons.
The nuclear weapons, yeah.
In 1945, the U.S. had dropped their first nuclear bombs, and Russia being the Soviet Union being a powerful nation, they couldn't fall. They didn't want to fall far behind. So only 4 years later, in 1949, Russia dropped their first bombs. Yes, and by the 1960s, both nations actually had hydrogen bombs created, which isn't long. Like from them going to testing their first bombs in 1945 to having hydrogen bombs, like weapons of mass destruction, only 15 years later is not like a crazy jump. So the space race was important, but the advancements of weapons and the army was far more important to the Cold War. And again, it was like as important as it is to strengthen your military, it was really just we're better than you kind of thing. Like our ideology is better than yours. That's really what the arms race and the space race was.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean, bro. And I feel like shortly after this is what led to the Soviet Union's demise, and I feel like they just couldn't keep up anymore with their economic stagnation. Why are you laughing?
No, I agree with you.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Like, why?
What do you mean, why?
Like, why do you think that?
Well, what do you mean? Well, they're spending so much money on weapons or
The nuclear bombs and shit.
and enough. Yeah.
Well, before the demise of the Soviet Union, there was a smaller war called the Proxy War. The Proxy War is interesting because it wasn't a war in the sense of people getting killed, but all the Proxy War was a spreading of one's ideology to other places and the diminishing of another's ideology, using propaganda, like politicians, like all those things, and why the Proxy War was important was because it involved multiple nations. It involved Korea, Vietnam, Afghanistan. Like the Proxy War was a fight against ideology, but with multiple other nations and other countries involved. And the Proxy War actually left long-standing wounds on these countries. So the space race and the arms race were really important to the Cold War. The Soviet Union's demise didn't come until the 1990s. That's because they lost their grip over Eastern Europe. When you're a nation that's that powerful, you have a lot of things to look out for. So not only are you trying to keep up with the U.S.? You're trying to hold on to land and things you have previously conquered in Eastern Europe. So you're trying to place attention and place money in places, and then eventually you're being stretched too thin. It's like
So
you're
basically
taking.
holding on to whatever you got. Basically.
No, it's they're putting more attention in other places, and then they try and come back and deal with it, but then they don't have enough resources. It's like if you put enough attention into 4 classes, you put attention here, your grades are good there, but you still have 3 other classes.
Yeah.
And so you see those grades dropping, and then you come back here and try to put attention to the grades dropping, and then you eventually get stretched too thin, and that's actually what happened to the Soviet Union, which led to their demise. Only 40 to 50 years after World War II had ended, which is not a long time for a powerful nation to rise and then crumble. Soviet Union dealt with a lot of economic battles from the inside, so they basically diminished from the inside out. Like it started off with pushback from their own people.
When people started gaining a sense of nationalism and their central government, the people started wanting more independence. You know, right?
Yeah, with the communist kind of ideology, it's really, it can be restricting, especially with dictators who aren't as lenient and not as almost free spirited as others. So when you're placed in a country that doesn't allow you your freedom, people are gonna say something. People are gonna want something else, and that's what happened. People in Soviet Union are turning on each other, left and right.
Any more questions?
Do you have any questions?
Well, I was asking you if you had.
There's nothing to talk about.
No.
It's just crazy to me how like it's classified like as a war and like shit didn't happen, nothing didn't happen. It was all
Yeah,
Cheeto
yeah,
puppets.
I know what
Back
you
and
mean.
forth, they were too-
Yeah, it was going back and
They were-
forth.
they were
Trying to
too
smack
scary.
each other.
But I also think they helped the U.S. advance greatly. I feel like they gave us a push and to advance our technology.
No, yeah.
I
Well,
think-
it was a push for the world in general.
Yeah.
I think even if this didn't happen, the U.S. still would have advanced.
Well, yeah, but like later on, you know.
'Cause this-
Having competition is gonna make you.
It's gonna make you.
It's gonna make you like be
'Cause
better.
Think
Yeah.
about all like the weapon advancements they like created nukes and all that.
Well,
Yeah.
they created so
They
many
could've-
weapons that they could have destroyed the world like multiple times over.
Yeah.
But it just chose not to
Of course, dude.
because it's the world.
Yeah,
Obviously.
Yeah, it's really a crazy war, and I feel like everyone was just all talk, you know what I mean? Not much happened.
Yeah, nobody
Well,
wanted to make the
there were
first move.
serious threats. Like
Yeah.
if a bomb had dropped on, the U.S., like that's gonna lead to another world war, which they had just got out of
And
years
nobody
prior.
had the money and all that stuff to happen for another war. So that
The
they
Soviet
had to lay
Union
low.
also had
Lay back.
occupied Cuba, didn't they? Making launch sites, like nuclear launch sites there for advantage over the U.S. But
Yeah, but that was all talk because both sides they didn't have no money. So like I said, they couldn't afford another war. Basically,
I mean,
That-
they had money though. I mean,
Well,
they're,
their military
they're the
was
most
all-
powerful nation in the world. Like, money isn't an issue. Like, when you're that powerful, people are gonna want to work with you. Like, people are gonna want
yeah, and they're
Like,
gonna be
share
spending
that
money
wealth.
you don't even have. You know what I mean?
yeah. When you're that powerful, you have money.
Money's just a word at that point. It's just an idea.
what's another topic? No, what was on the screen? Question.
You have nothing to add?
No, I don't know.
Any questions? Like,
I agree with you guys.
you think he covered everything? You don't have any like questions? Like,
No.
So, what's your opinion on the Cold War?
yeah, how do you
Well,
feel
we-
about it?
you
Like,
guys
yeah,
discussed
no,
it
yeah, but
already.
like, how do you feel about it?
I mean, I feel like it was pointless because nothing really went on. Like,
You think you really think it was
So you
pointless?
basically wait like pointless of all those years, just arguing back and forth.
yeah, it was pretty pointless. It could have like avoided all of that, you know what I mean?
You could just went on with it there, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
I agree with you a little bit.
A lot could have been solved. We don't have to go through all that, but
It could have been solved a lot earlier, basically.
yeah.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, because it's just a petty war, between nations that just have an ego, and egotistical war.
Well,
We can take 10
It was
minutes.
wrong, that's not good.
We can take 10 minutes.
Yeah, we can take 10 minutes. I'm cool with 10 minutes, but it's not gonna be zero.
It's not gonna be 0.
10 minutes, has it been 10 minutes?
Yeah.
well, how much time do you guys have?
We got 10 minutes. We'll make it 10 more minutes.
And what are we gonna talk about?
Well, we could connect the Cold War to other events in history.
Like, which ones?
Do you think the Cold War could have led to a World War III?
No, yeah, for sure. I think the Cold War could have ended us. You know what I mean? If just one missile was launched, and the world would have ended. It would have led to a chain reaction, I think. And
Yeah, but people are
caused
smart.
Yeah. And it's crazy that nowadays a push of a button and the world ends. You know what I mean? Like we'll be in a
Everybody
hot-
has nuclear.
Yeah, every country has nuclear weapons practically.
But mainly the U.S.
Yeah.
is the most powerful.
You think Oppenheimer ruined the world? You think he messed up making it?
The nuclear
I mean, it was gonna happen eventually, though.
Yeah, I get yeah.
Yeah, if he didn't make it, then someone else would have made it.
Yeah.
That's what they need, because just in case something ever happens, they can just push a button and that shit, that's just going.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it could be good for aliens too. You know what I mean?
Aliens?
Yeah, like if we have like outer world threats and
There's no,
shit.
no. Why would they,
Why would you
why would they
do
launch?
yourself?
Why would they launch a nuclear bomb in
Okay,
space?
well, let's be so for it. Like, aliens are definitely real, though.
No, yeah. Can you really think there's water?
But do you
planets
think
out
that's
there?
why they made? No, that's not why they made it.
No, I'm not saying that's why, but I'm saying
It just helps, bro.
like
Those are like in a different galaxy and stuff.
Yeah, what galaxy is that, bro?
And a different one, not this one.
And
Because
there's
obviously no
Sicilian
aliens in this one.
galaxy.
There's like a galaxy.
Yeah.
If you guys really wanted to, like, you guys could restart it and then do 10 minutes. Cause like now you guys are gonna get even less credit. Cause there's 4 of us and it's only 10 minutes, so that's half credit. But if it was 3 of you guys did 10 minutes, then that's 75% credit.
But what would us three talk about?
When you guys did not listen to a word I just said, bro.
Yeah, but, all right, that's cool. But we'll go with that.
Alright, so you guys gonna restart it or no?
Why are we talking about restarting with the lots running? You know what I mean? We just keep going.
Keep learning all that.
What
What
about
was more on the script?
I don't remember.
what
Bro.
about the script?
I don't have the script.
Yeah, that's why I need my phone.
I thought you made the script though. You know what I mean? Since you know
Like,
what
you should
know.
remember.
I mean, I don't know why you picked the
but
Cold War in the
all of
first
these
place,
topics,
guys.
man.
That doesn't
Whoa,
much
you
talk
weren't
about.
at school.
I was not at school?
No,
Yeah,
you,
but-
you were in class. The Cold War.
There's nothing. There's like little much information talking about the Cold War because
It was
it was
just
basically just
boring.
argument.
You think
It's,
more?
it's the same thing.
Think
no,
about COD.
no,
Think
it's the
about
same
COD.
thing over and over
You got
again.
Cold War
They're
COD.
just going back and forth,
Are you
so
serious?
it's not really
Hey,
much to talk about.
Cold War. Hey, you didn't say which Cold War. It be Call of Duty Cold War.
No, believe me, like this topic, the Cold War, like they were just going back and forth, so there's really not much to talk about the Cold War because it was the same thing, was just repeating and repeating and
I
repeating.
mean, yeah. It wasn't that long. It wasn't that much, I guess.
But it was still like a.
What kind of
major-
war do you think?
No, it was a major event that happened.
What do you think is going on now, though? You know what I mean? Like with the tariffs, China and the U.S.
Stop
going
it.
at it. The tariff war.
Yeah, it's had nothing to do with the Cold War. But I see where it's coming from.
No, I'm just saying. We're talking about wars.
I know, but it won't lead to another Cold War. That's for sure.
Nah, there won't ever be another Cold War because I said so.
No, there won't ever be another Cold War because there's no talking now. You just go straight to fighting.
I mean, Russia's kind of been.
And
talking.
plus, we didn't just get done from a world war, so we can literally do another war if we really wanted to.
Yeah, but then we go to another world war, then the world will end. That's what I think.
Or listen to these stories.
Wow. I was debating this.
Hey, realistically, should we have a guest speaker? Should we add?
I am the guest speaker.
Yeah, okay. Who are you? Realistically.
What topic do you think we can talk about?
Well, we could like connect the dots on this, you know,
Connect the dots. Okay, well, let's.
like other events in history. Come on, let's think.
What was the economic state of the country?
Shut up.
They're going on with the Cold War. Like,
Well,
were they wasting a lot of money? Or
they were using a lot of money, and eventually they ran out, I guess, and they couldn't fund what they needed to.
Making all that nuclear stuff.
They, like what Zergon was saying, they were stretched out. They were spending too much money on so many different things, and eventually they ran out. They couldn't manage it all.
What do you think, Zergan?
And then eventually,
Economic state
Of what?
of what happened to like what was going on.
Of who? They
I'm not supposed to
it sounded like
So you think the war was beneficial to the U.S.?
It was beneficial to everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody came out.
It was
winning?
beneficial to everybody because everybody started growing.
yeah, and the Soviet Union slowly died after, so that's cool. I mean,
And now
they
it was all
some,
one.
yeah, they gave some people some peace.
Yeah. I'm cool with 60 minutes.
Lucky the Soviet Union is
it's-
tough. Like, are they not tough? Are they not tough? Like, when you see that symbol, like I don't know. I think it's tough as hell. I mean, I don't support it, but it's like badass, dude. Who's the leader? You know the leader?
Of the Soviet Union?
Yeah,
No. I know Putin, that's it.
Putin's like, I know Stalin too, but it was before.
Pretty sure he was a general.
Yeah.
Okay, but he was still significant.
He was a part of it a little bit. Like, wasn't a man.
Should we show this to the class?
No. Well, because you gotta think about it, like we were cussing and stuff, like he's gonna take off points. You have to edit it, bro. You know that edit?
Were you really?
Yeah.
When he shows the class this?
No, you need to let him show.
But that's
Oh,
extra.
wait.
That's 20 points extra credit.
We can show them in our class.
Yeah. It's me, Jose, and Gustavo.
Exactly.
And do I get extra? Yeah.
Yeah.